Hey, you feel that? You are now tuned into You Feel That with Bryce the Third. Yo, and welcome to another episode of You Feel That with Bryce the Third, the show where we aim to turn your I can'ts into I got this by providing you with tools and ways of looking at life that empower you emotionally and mentally, no matter what field you are in. Too long didn't read version, mental and emotional wellness for the rest of us. How y'all doing? I am, of course, your host, Bryce the Third, and today I just wanted to pop on for one of those I'm here for a good time, not for a long time episodes. We have been having guests on for the past 2 episodes, so it'll be a little deviation from the guest for a second just to come on and speak my piece. I'm having a day today, and it has prompted the conversation that I want to have with you all today. So here on You Feel That, we do talk a lot about emotional and mental wellness and all the tools that go into living an intentionally emotionally well and fit, mentally well and fit life. And I wanted to just pop on for a second to let you know that even with all the work that we do intentionally, there will still be days where it's like, I don't know what the fuck. I just don't know. I just don't know what the fuck. And those days are necessary. The days where we don't know what step to take, or we've been backing off from meditation, or we haven't been journaling, or haven't been using our tools. Like, even in not using our tools, there's something that lies within that not using of the tools. So it's like, why am I so repelled? Because, okay, so for the past maybe like a week and a half, maybe 2 weeks, I've sat in meditation in the morning time like I usually do, but I usually will sit down in meditation more times throughout the day. And I have just been repelled. I have just been like, nah, I don't want to do that. I don't want to sit in meditation. That's not what I'm trying to do right now. And I'd find something else for me to do. But what has been happening has been this nagging kind of underlying energy in my life that is telling me like, oh, I'm not feeling right. I'm not living right. I'm not living in accordance to the things that I've intended for my life to look like. And that's absolutely okay. And I say that's okay. I shared it with you on the show today because it's got to be okay because it's part of the process. And I think we could tend to, my life is not perfect, or I listen to this podcast with this guy Bryce the Third, and he always be talking like he be on tip and he's always on the beam. Like, no, I'm not. No, I'm not. And anybody that would ever tell you like if you do this one thing or if you tap into this, everything will be perfect forever, they are lying or they are gassing up whatever it is that they're pushing. Because the truth is it's a practice. I think the biggest thing that I could ever convey to you all on this show ever, like you could listen to this show and listen to this sentence and take this and run with it and be good for the rest of your life without tapping into anything else that I have to offer, is that it's all a practice. And in practice, there are going to be some days where you show up and it's like, man, I'm not landing any buckets. Everything I'm shooting is not landing. Or, man, I'm usually so fluid and good at this, but today I'm not the best at that. And those days are absolutely necessary for the bigger picture. The bigger picture is living well. And in wellness, we have to have that contrast as to, okay, this is what I don't desire. So if I didn't have intention, if I didn't set intention, if I didn't have this list of things that it is that I intend for my life to be like, look like, feel like, I wouldn't feel incongruent when I'm not doing the things that would help me to live that life. So I would be okay. In a short version, I would be okay. Like if I wasn't meditating or if I wasn't journaling, if I didn't intend to live the life that meditating and journaling would provide for me. So having that experience of, this ain't it. Having that experience allows for us to continue to create the life that, oh yeah, this is it. This is it. Like we have to have the, this ain't it. To have the, oh yeah, this is it. Right? Like one is the prerequisite for the other almost. A lot of times we'll need that contrast to even visualize or to have any type of receptivity to this life that we desire. So it's okay. It's okay on those days. If you're having one of those days today, or if you just need to go back and replay this episode that you've listened to before and you're having one of those days, this is the sign that it's okay. It's okay. It's okay to struggle a bit. It's okay to flap your arms a bit. It's okay to scream and yell a bit. So I've been through a couple of things today. It was a snowstorm today. Traffic was making me feel a certain type of way that I don't normally feel. People around me was making me feel a little impatient, like I just wasn't really rocking with people in general. I didn't really want to be touched. I felt like my patience was at an all-time low, and I knew that I needed to sit in meditation. I know we're gonna keep coming back to this meditation for me because that's also like the part of the practice. It's like a game of operation. Like, well, what is it? Like, what is it? And a lot of times, like people who aren't well will push that off. Like, no, I don't want to look at what it is. I don't care what it is. Matter of fact, give me something to drink, or give me something to smoke, or let me go have some sex, or let me go over here, or let me leave the house, or let me have something to eat, or let me do anything but look at that. And even in wellness, we can tend to kind of participate in a bit of that existential avoidance. But like, I just know something needs to be looked at. So in wellness, we allow for these moments to show us what it is that needs to be looked at. And a lot of times it may be something that we haven't necessarily had any experience with. Maybe it might be a variable of what it is that we're familiar with that we haven't had experience with. Maybe we're in the midst of growth. Maybe we're getting too small for our skin. And this is the process of allowing for ourselves to get out of that skin and get into some new skin. And in me and my life, like, there's a lot of things. The book just dropped. I'm dealing with some things with the book launch, making sure everything is together and having peace throughout it all. And I got my first event coming up, first event of many, which I plan to like put things together for speakers and just mixing music with the ways, the emotional and mental empowerment. I've already got some travel booked on for the year for 2022, and just learning about my logistics in my life and learning how to schedule things in a way that feels appropriate and works with my energy and works with some of the things that I'm doing here in Detroit. And it's quite a bit. I've never been this person before. And when we continue to transform, when we continue to grow, not only do our responsibilities shift and change, but so do our inner workings. And a lot of times our inner workings might not align with what is going on the outside anymore. So our inner workings will tell us like, yo, like there's something different and we don't have the equipment, or we need to upgrade, or we need some new attention. We need to be sat down with and talked to or meditated on. And that's the process for real. But that's the beautiful thing about this way of life. It's like having a relationship with ourselves. I've told a lot of people recently that somewhere along the way, like, I entered a relationship with myself. And if I don't pay myself the attention that myself wants, myself gets on the phone and hollers at me like, hey, Bryce, you ain't called me in a minute. Where you at? You ain't paying me no attention. And this may happen in ways that pop up like anxiety or fear or physical breakdown. I'm not drinking enough water, or I'm not getting enough physical exercise, or like this is the process. And to allow for it to not be overwhelming, it has to be a process, and we have to feed the process compassion as well as attention. Compassion and attention for ourselves and our process allows for us to show up in love, not in, oh, I should have known that, or, oh, why am I getting so frustrated? I should know not to be so frustrated. I don't have no control over people who are driving. Why am I this? Why am I that? Like the whys, that's not handling ourselves in a loving and compassionate way, and can actually add to some of the symptoms that we're experiencing of high anxiety, or of not knowing, or of frustration, or of sadness, or of loneliness, or all these things that may manifest when we're going through some of these transformations. So all in all, I just wanted to pop in to remind you that it's a practice. It's a practice. Everything we talk about here on You Feel That is a practice. And you owe it to yourself to give yourself understanding and compassion. You owe it to your process to give your process understanding and compassion. You owe it to all the relationships around you, because we cannot give that which we don't possess. So if we don't have a relationship with ourselves in this manner, we can never give to a relationship outside of ourselves anywhere close to this. We can only see other people as much as we see ourselves. Let's not run. Don't run. There's no good or bad. So if you're experiencing some tough days, it's okay to have a day where you just don't fuck with people. It's okay. It's okay. And that doesn't make you a bad person. And it doesn't make your experience a bad experience. I tend to see through the lens, and I tend to teach that we focus on seeing through the lens that allows for us to see everything that happens to us in life as something that propels us to who it is that we're supposed to be. That's what empowers us versus the thing where it's like, I shouldn't be going through this, or this is blah, 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 blah. Like when we live like that, now we're condemning ourselves and we're judging ourselves. And if we can't give that which we don't possess, then if we condemn and judge ourselves, guess what we're going to do to the people around us? Guess what we're going to do in the relationships around us? Guess what we're going to do in the circumstances around us? Guess what we're going to do, right? So change ourselves, change the world. And just know that you have it within you to continue to show up for yourself in love and compassion. With all that said, head over to Apple ratings and reviews and leave me a rating and review. Leave me a 5-star over there. If you got anything out of this little nugget today, leave me a little paragraph. Let people know how much this podcast has helped you out. This has been one hell of a journey, and I know we're just getting started. There's a lot of business behind this podcasting thing, and I'm really excited about building it. I'm bringing some people in on the team and just working at making this content better, more cohesive, and something that you can play forever, something that's evergreen. Some of my favorite podcasts, I listen to podcasts when I go to sleep at night, and I listen to the episodes. I listen to a lot of Abraham Hicks stuff, and I just replay it over and over and over again, and it doesn't get tired because every time I listen to it, I hear something different. And so that's the type of content that we're aiming to create over here. You feel that? So if you're getting anything close to that, head over to Apple Podcasts and leave me a rating and review and let other people know how much you love the show. I've also just entered a contest to get sponsorship on this podcast for up to a certain amount of money, and they got this little thing where if you go and write a love letter about my podcast, like it increases my chances of getting that sponsorship. So I'm gonna drop that in the show notes as well. So if you want to go and leave a love letter on that contest for me, that'll be cool as heck. Right? Go subscribe to the YouTube. You can catch all of my videos, include my music videos that come out because you know I am an artist, as well as every episode if you feel that, because we filmed the video of it. You know my book is out now. You can go to the website and copy your purchase of the Handbook, a pocket guide for creating your desired reality and being a good human while you're at it. And I'm telling you, I'm hearing great things from the people who have gotten it in their hands already. And for the people who are waiting on it, it's coming second week of February, no later than the second week of February. I got a box of books headed to my crib now. As soon as I get here, I'm signing them and I'm sending them out. Follow me on social media at Bryce the Third and at You Feel That Podcast. Wish me safe travels because I'm headed to Houston in the morning to go kick it with my friends, the Suffers, the 9-piece band from Houston that I opened up for here at L Club in Detroit, and they're just really good people. Their first single, I'm on it, and it's dropping in February on Black History Month, and I'm going to shoot the video with them. They're flying me out there, and can't wait to go kick it with them. So wish me safe travels, and last but not least, have compassion for your process. And I'll say that a trillion times before we close the curtain on this podcast. I don't know how long this podcast is going to go. You know, like some of the best shows like have finales. But some of my favorite podcasts I started listening to 7, 8, 9 years ago, and they're still going today. So who knows how long we'll be here. But the theme song of us being here, one of the theme songs is have compassion for your process. This is a process. It's not going to happen overnight, and there is no it. There is no it. So when I say it's not going to happen overnight, what the hell am I talking about? There is no it. You are perfect. You are whole. You are complete. Be intentional. Love on each other. Have compassion for your process. And I'll catch you next time on You Feel That? With Bryce the Third.